there's lots to admire about how the French came back, but there's also quite a lot of questions about how they were completely outplayed for long periods.
The thing that I would be most disappointed if I were France, besides the tactics, besides the things that we just talked about and the decisions made or not made by Didier Deschamps, is the lack of understanding and recognition of who you're playing against and the type of players and the culture that you're playing against and what Argentina looks like in a final. You knew, if you have done your homework, that Argentina would come into this game and make it physical. You knew that Cuti Romero was going to come with a late challenge, that Otamendi was going to come with a late challenge, that their physical presence was going to be there. You also knew that there were going to be moments in which they were going to embellish a foul. You knew there were moments in which they were going to come over to the top of the ball, that they were going to challenge. They're going to get challenged to get in the face of Antoine Griezmann. They were going to challenge him and say, all right, Greasy, you here to play or what? Because we're here to play.
Yeah.
And France were surprised by that. France were not ready for this. They were not ready for all the picture that Argentina provides you in a final. Everything in their repertoire, everything in the locker that they bring to the final. Not only the quality of keeping the ball, not only the quality of playing through lines, not only the quality of finding Lionel Messi, but all the other things, the extracurricular stuff that I love so much, the dark arts, if you will, that Argentina are so very good at. And France were kind of like, wait a minute, we don't know how to deal with this. And they didn't deal with it for 75 minutes.
Apart from the little bit of sort of laziness early in the first half that I talked about, as the game wore on, I think certainly from half-time on, the French can say, look at their players and say, we put everything on the table in the end.
Right.
We screwed it up early, but we put everything on the table. And I think epitomised by Raphael Varane, who could barely walk it when he cleared that ball in the corner flag.
He was just done.
The guy missed the last month of the season before the World Cup. He's been in and out. He was ill, I believe, recovered for this game. And you just saw by the way he trudged off. He probably knew they were going to lose. He thought it was all over, and he had put absolutely everything on the table. And I think if you do that as a player, there's not a lot else you can ask yourself. Go on, Frank.
Craig, it's why we can't feel sad about what happened today. We can be frustrated and disappointed. But
I think you need to tell Jules that more, Frank.
Don't forget that. Yeah. Jules, take it easy, my man. Take it easy. Remember that
No.
We won the World Cup. But Jules, we won the World Cup 4 years ago. We played 4 finals in 7 World Cup. We played 2 European Championship final in 24 years. We shouldn't complain. We are a small country. We have only 2 million people playing football, and we have that resume. I think, yes, it's disappointing. We cannot be sad. Because only one team, one country can win every 4 years. I think we've been very fortunate, and we should be proud of our football.
No, that's a positive outlook.
I like that. That's good.
I don't know many small countries with I don't know many small countries with 50 million or whatever it is.
Jules, looking at it overall, obviously because of what transpired, as Frank said, kind of France can leave with their heads held high. Would you prefer that and to have all the drama and the hope and kind of the gut punch in the end, or would you just take the 2-0, walk away, thank you very much?
I mean, I have to say, when the defeat happened, I thought I would rather lose 2-0 than coming back like this, show that character, show the heart, and then lose on penalties because it's so cruel.
Yeah.
Now that we discuss it, now that we talk about it, there's a lot of positive to take even from that defeat tonight, as heartbroken as it was, of course. And we mentioned the young players. I think there's a great future ahead for Thuram, for Colomboigny, for Chouameni, for Fofana, who I thought did well when he came on, for all that generation, Upamecano, Konate, Saliba. The future is bright, and that's why Didier is going to stay. Deschamps is going to stay because he's not stupid. He can see that even with all the players missing, no Benzema, no Pogba, no Kanté, etc., we still were the second best team in this tournament and that close of winning it. And then the future is so bright, certainly for the next 18 months and maybe even after that. So, of course, he will stay. As disappointed as he is right now, it's just hard to take for now. But, yeah, you would have to be encouraged still by some of the performance, some of the individual performance that we see through this tournament. Collectively, at times as well, it was not always perfect, of course, and there's a lot of room for improvement. But I think going forward, you can also, once we've all like gone over the disappointment of that defeat on pens, that we can take some positives away
All you
from
need
it.
is a good sleep, Jules. A good sleep.
And I tell you what,
Try not to miss my flight.
I'm
sleep on the plane.
expert.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.